Welcome back, guys, to the second part of my 3v3 battle. Okay, so the British right flank has collapsed and I'm starting to push round. We finished on Aleron's cav, just smashing into the front. He timed it so that the British had fired their free ranks, I should say. Then he smashed into them with his cav. Good time to disrupt them just as they were reloading. Not content, he then charges into the British line that I'm firing at, disrupting them quite a lot, which was actually quite helpful. Okay, so after he does that, he then pulls back through my line, and yeah, I do a silly thing, which we'll show you in a minute. Okay, so yeah, I got my tri-line tactic going on as well. I'm also forming up on Aleron's left, linking up with his men, so I can start rolling up the flank. I'm also in a concave formation, so I can envelop and get flanking fire on one unit at a time. Yeah, so there's my tri-line tactic. I've got the Jaegers in the front, then line, then goons, so I got my free ranges and my free fields of fire. Okay, so as Aleron's cav were passing through my line, I accidentally shot his general as he passed through my line. That was a mistake by me. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but well, doesn't matter, because the British general then suicides himself by charging into a giant wooden pointy thing. So it kind of evens itself out. Yeah, and I skirt round my two cav. I'm going to skirt them round the edge of those stake lines. Yeah, I'm also going to be filling in gaps where Aleron's line starts to rout, because his opponent's got like superior upgraded British lines, so it's going to need his men are going to take quite a beating. Okay, so over there you just saw a snippet of Ralston's last unit. There's no keeping a good Dutchman down, and he'll use that last rifle unit to quite good effect in harassing the Swede as he attacks Aleron's right flank. Notice also that Aleron's begun to start to fold his right flank back due to Swedish pressure on his right. Okay, so I'm going to start filling in the gaps now. Like I said, there's a gap as it appeared between the Bulkleys and the rest of Aleron's line, where the British line has routed it. Meanwhile, my cav is still skirting around the flanks. Okay, you can also see that I'm also starting to envelop the guy's right flank as well, at the same time as me plugging gaps and supporting Aleron where I can. I'm also moving my dragoons up. I'm using the tri-line in a more aggressive stance. It's not really best for doing that. I only keep my dragoons there temporarily, and I try to keep them out of way of where the enemy units are shooting. So if they're shooting a line, I ensure I don't have my dragoons behind that line, so they don't take unnecessary losses. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to envelop the remainder of the British guy in front of me. It's hard to tell because there are two British players, but the free line, the one green jacket and the one cav, are the remainder of my opponent. I haven't lost a single unit so far. None of my men have routed, is what I meant. Okay, so he does a good thing. I was going to do a hammer and anvil to keep the pressure off Aleron, but he snags it with a Reg of Horse. Then I snag his cav with my Garde du Corps. Garde du Corps against Reg of Horse is no real challenge for my Garde du Corps. So that frees my second Hussars up to start smashing into his line, and I can conveniently rout most of his men that are left in front of me, bar this one square. So I just push up and I just shoot it to pieces. Okay, so Aleron's got a lot of pressure on his right side now, so he's doing a good thing of pulling back towards me. The British guy in front of me is quite static at this time. He should either pull back, because he should be able to see me approaching on his flank, or he should press on Aleron as he's redeploying, but he does neither and lets me envelop him. So I go into my concave formation again, due to the fact that I've taken very few losses in my line, because I had my skirmishers doing most of the work in the first part, and I've weakened so much of his line that when it's coming to the actual line against line battle, I've got a massive advantage, which is what skirmishers are supposed to be used for. They can be used as an aggressive meat shield, of course, but it's an expensive way of going about it. Okay, so I'm going to get right round this guy's flank, and again I'm going to envelop him with my second Hussars and my Garde du Corps. Unfortunately, my second Hussars aren't as useful in this battle as they were in previous battles. Notice the Swede just on the left side of the camera view there. He's going to send a unit of rifles to hit my flank, and it's going to actually pulverise my poor second Hussars. I wanted to zoom in on a cool second Hussar charge, but I ended up zooming in on most of them getting shot to pieces. In a minute, yeah, there they go. Oh. Yeah, I quite like my second asides, but I don't really like watching them get slaughtered like that. Okay, yeah, so all at the same time I kept my own line out of range of his, and I just sent 2 units to flank his line, and then now I'm going to hit his central line with my cav, disrupt it, push it into squares, then push my line up. Fairly standard at this point, and due to the fact I have numerical superiority against both British players now, I'm just encircling and enveloping and destroying at will now. So I got my dragoons out of the tri-line formation, and I'm using them as harassing, just using them as harassing skirmisher cav, which is what they're supposed to be used for. Here he charges his elite. You can see all the experience chevrons. Some of them had 4 or 5, but one of them had 8 experience chevrons, which is a hell of a lot to put on a skirmisher unit. But yeah, he wastes them all by charging them into my line square for some reason, which is perplexing, I have to say. Okay, so here I'm just going to be, you can see as I'm enveloping now the Swede, the remainder of the Swedes' forces are going to get enveloped now as well. So I go back into my long envelopment tactic, which is to thin my line out and then flank. My flanking forces get engaged first, so that I don't engage his central line immediately. I engage his flanks first. Once I've engaged his flanks and got him pinned, I then get cav into the rear, disrupt him, and then I move my central line forward. So that is how I would go about engaging any formation. And the Grassy Flatlands is an ideal place to do this tactic, where you've got so much space to envelop. Yeah, I've actually got so many men left. I'm actually trying to get them all into the fight, but I end up just running in front of my own men, trying to get them into the fight. Okay, so that basically was the end of the battle. The Swedes, he only had a few units left. Me and Aleron finished them off, and that was about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.